There's a lot of staph infection going around. I'm not gonna. First of all, going into the game, we looked at Brown's strategy and found that they were really taking advantage of the high-low game, and we really emphasized to our guys that we had to defend the paint. I thought we did a remarkable job of that for 40 minutes. Really took away their inside game, their inside looks, their high-low passes. And when you defend someone so well, and you get a lot of stops, and the rebounding is good, you get a lot of opportunities in transition. And once we were able to establish the lead, I thought we played really well. I thought Louis Birdsong got us off to a great start. He hit a couple of quick shots, and Louis hadn't scored in our game against Vermont, and I'm sure he was very, very ready to get off to a good start tonight. Then the bench was terrific. See, the guys were a little bit tired. It was almost like a road game. We traveled on Friday, traveled on Saturday, arriving here, and then just short practice yesterday. And I thought we showed it. We were a little gassed, and so we needed the bench to come in and give us a lift. And Mike Morrison, Vlad Maldivenu, and Isaiah Tate, and Andre Cornelius, I thought were all really terrific. Ryan Pearson was good. Chris Fleming was good. They were all played like the way we need them to play. So a very good night from start to finish for us. Any questions?
How do you like the way some of the younger guys have blended in with the older guys so far? Just through 2 games.
Well, I think off the court it's terrific. I mean, I think they all have a wonderful relationship. The freshmen all take a lot of kidding from the upperclassmen, but they give it out an awful lot too.
Is that unusual?
What?
Is that unusual?
I don't think so. I think when you have high energy freshmen, they interact with the upperclassmen pretty good, and the different personalities, like Kevin Foster, who's redshirting this year. He's really a high energy guy. He catches probably the most grief, and he's accepted it very well and is working very hard to improve his game and prepare himself for next season. We also have 2 walk-on freshmen. Jimmy Nolan came in and can really shoot. I mean, that was evident the moment he took the court. He wasn't shy. He came in, buried a couple of jump shots, played some good team defense, guarded the ball pretty good. So it's nice when you have young guys who play with a lot of energy and practice, and then come into the game and play with a lot of confidence. And then Brian Henderson, I was sorry to see him miss that reverse layup, because that would have been great to see him score. But it was a very good team effort.
So the point of emphasis, Coach, coming in to get off to a good start so you can get those starters a little bit of rest early on?
Well, that's an emphasis every game. You try to look at the game almost like a prize fight. You have 10 4-minute quarters. And that first timeout, that first TV timeout at 16-minute mark, you want to be playing well, and you want to establish yourself. There's a feeling out process, but the best way to feel someone out is attack them, see how they respond, and if you can get an early lead, then it helps everything else flow. But tonight we won, I think all 10 rounds, except there was one spot in the first half where I thought we relaxed a little bit, gave a backdoor layup, gave a 3, gave an offensive rebound bucket. But other than that, we were very, very sharp.
Compared to last year, at the beginning of the year, the starters were playing almost all the minutes. Can you talk about being able to see early on that your bench is going to be able to be a contributor this year?
We certainly hope so. You can't judge on one home game. Although the bench did a good job up at Vermont as well. Andre Cornelius and Ryan Pearson in particular came in, and Ryan had 13 and 6, and Andre Cornelius had 9 points and 5 assists. So if you can get that kind of production from your bench, it's awfully good.
What was your approach with Morrison not playing the other day and then getting the minutes and producing?
Well, we've got a pretty deep post position. There are 6 guys battling for playing time in 2 positions. We start Daryl and Lewis, but we bring in, so far in the first 2 games, Vlad and Ryan, because of matchups too. And then we have Chris Fleming and Mike Morrison, so we have 6 guys for 2 spots. And it's gonna be a major challenge for me to find the right combination of the players each night as to which guys are the ones that deserve the minutes.
How has Chris been taking it, Coach? You've got some of these young guys, Pearson and Morrison. They've seemed, and I know it's early, but they seem to be getting a lot of the minutes early on. He's a guy that's been around, a senior. Has he been taking it well, and is he still?
Yeah, Chris. I think Chris Fleming is probably the hardest working guy on the team. He always does everything we ask him to do. I have tremendous respect for him and the things he brings to our program. Right now, I know what he can do. I got to figure out what some of the younger guys can do, because I can't. If Chris were a scorer, he was a guy that could average 15 or 18 points a game, or we expected him to, then he would have been getting a lot of minutes early. But right now, he's a guy that's a kind of a defender, defensive stopper, good screener, and he can score from the low block. But we're not expecting him to get double-figure points. Whereas someone like Vlad or Ryan Pearson, those guys are capable because they do different things. Ryan scores in every practice, every single practice. And when Vlad is shooting like he is now and shooting like he did tonight, he's an additional perimeter threat at the 4 spot. Played him at the 5 because Ryan is more of an inside threat. So one guy plays the 5 defensively, but plays the 4 offensively. And even tonight I played Vlad at the 3 some when we went very big for the last 7 or 8 minutes now. We actually did that against Georgetown in the scrimmage, and it worked very effectively.
With Mike and Pearson both being left-handed, how has that helped? Will obviously the left-handed. Were you able to keep a lot of the same sets, a lot of the same plays that are designed to go to him to the left side?
We've had a number of right-handed and left-handed low post players, and we've always adapted the offense to the strengths of the player. We feel like once the player has shown us what he does best, not what he does well, but what he does best, we're going to try to create those opportunities for him. So you saw Mike Morrison. He's pretty quick for a guy his size. He drove to the basket, I think, twice, made good moves, and that's something he might be able to do more often as the season progresses.
Are you happy with the new mascot?
Yes. I gotta be honest.
You miss Gunston, don't you?
No, I only saw the Patriot for like a split second. That was it. I mean, I'm so focused on the game, Barack Obama could walk in and walk right by me. I might notice him, but probably not. Yes.
You saw Daryl Monroe. He said that he was working on his free throws, and in the last game he made 90% of his shots for the free throws. Do you think what was important in his improvement in free throws last year? He missed about half.
When I met with Daryl in the spring after the season was over and was describing to him what we expected, the primary focus for him during the summer was, number one, to get himself in better and better shape, and number two, thinking that he'd get to the foul line a fair amount of times, especially at the end of games. You got to be ready to shoot free throws. So he spent all summer working on that part, and then when we came back, I had the managers actually, once we started practice, just rebound for him a ton. Just go off by himself after a practice is over and let those guys, shag the balls. And so he's taken quite a few free throws, and it really paid off in game 1.
He looks a lot more polished offensively too than he did. Granted, it's been a little bit since we've seen him, and he was kind of the second fiddle to Will.
Yeah, I think I think Daryl is a very, very nice guy, and I think he felt during his junior year he didn't want to step on anybody's toes. He was just trying to fit in. Now he's a senior co-captain and wanting to be a good leader. He has shown some very good leadership in practice, and then I get on him when he is too nice.
275 pounds.
Yeah, but I'm a whole lot tougher than him.